So
So when we're suspecting that we're in a relationship with a narcissist, how do you deal with that? Now, okay, let's say you're deep in. You've put down roots, kids, house, all of that.
mm,
Is there, if it's a narcissist and you finally said, "Oh, this is what I got going on here,"
right.
is there a way to work with that?
To work with that, yes. To work with them, no. And here's how I want to decipher the difference between the two.
Hmm.
Everybody has to do what they have to do. And I want to specify on that family piece that you were talking about. If you're in a marriage and you have a family and you have kids, just like any other abusive relationship, if there is physical abuse, please find a way to get out and separate yourself.
Sure.
If there are little bits and pieces throughout your day or throughout the week that are constantly undermining you, um, devaluing you, and invalidating your feelings, and we'll go through some more of these points through and gaslighting you and making, if you know your partner long enough, if you know them long enough to where you know, in order to keep the peace in the family, because here's the point I'm trying to make, is that if you're in a marriage and you have a family and you have kids, I'm not saying as soon as you find out that this person's a narcissist, divorce them and hit the road right with the kids and all, but you really do have to play it very carefully. Everybody knows their circumstance, everybody knows their relationship, and everybody knows how to handle that, particularly to them, specifically for themselves. So it is a very sensitive topic for anyone in that particular situation. So they'll only that person is going to know how to handle that situation. So if it is absolutely deep and volatile and physical, yes. And if it's not even physical in a volatile sense, and if the kids are seeing, dad verbally on a daily basis or often abusing mom. Yeah, and these are things that divorce is necessary for the peace of everybody, including the kids, more so, right?
Hmm.
Um, so for the individual partner who is being abused, seek counseling, seek a way to guard yourself and protect your peace in instead of antagonizing. I mean, I don't want to say antagonizing because that is a word actually that the narcissist will use on the victim, because they love any kind of reaction, and they will keep pushing and pecking
Hmm.
to make you pop and blow and then say, oh, look at you, you're the crazy one. And so that's one of their wonderful tactics that they like to do.
Hmm. I was in a relationship way back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and she always wanted conflict and
Mm-hmm.
would and at all costs. And I'm chill. This is me. It's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. All good.
Yeah.
And I believe that not. I know it came from childhood
Mm-hmm.
because her childhood was
Yep.
like that,
Yeah.
and I connected the dots, and that was the comfortable spot.
Sure.
Now add another layer, potentially narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm looking back, and we're talking, uh, 25 years. Yeah, you know what? I didn't see it then. I'm seeing more of it now, especially
Right.
after talking with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so there are 4 points, the core narcissistic traits. Did you see kind of like some grandiosity? And when I say grandiosity within the person, they felt like that they were bigger and better than everyone else.
I'd have to say there's an element of that.
Yeah, and probably so with what you said, and that she wanted an argument all the time. They're very reactive. They want any kind of attention, whether it's good or bad, right? It's kind of like the toddler. If you're not going to give them what they just want, they'll cry just to get any kind of attention, right?
Mm,
And the excessive need, or I'm sorry, let's back up a little bit. Lack of empathy. The core narcissistic traits are grandiosity, lack of empathy, excessive need for validation, and a very, very, very fragile self esteem, which is why they are the way they are.
mm. Would you say, with that fragile self-esteem, that they try to make up for it in other ways to make themselves feel better, and
Mhm.
sometimes at the cost of another
You got
person
it.
to make the other person little so they appear to be big?
Yes, that's called their supply. That's a term in the narcissistic
Ooh.
world by psychologists called supply. So the victims are their supply. And often their supply are put in a box. That's another term. Another term you'll hear often is breadcrumbing, gaslighting, and the boomerang effect. So with their supply are I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. They're victims, and it's the people that they have in their life because they need constant and consistent adoration, validation. Am I good enough? Am I lovable? And a lot of times uh, they're either or an avoidant or an anxious attachment. There is this constant push pull, this constant, you'll see constant hot and cold. There is emotional inconsistency in a relationship with a narcissist. So now we're moving on into uh, the relationship side. So when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, there's this the love bombing, right? And a lot of times the love bombing can look differently. It can come in terms of, you're amazing, you're so wonderful. And it could be in just consistent, constant text messages or phone calls or just building up, building up, building up, and you're the best. And sometimes it's within gift giving. And a lot of times they are going to mirror you. They find out, they're very good with knowing what it is you desire, and they mirror that so that they know how to pull you in, and then they release, and then they pull you in, and then they do this release. It's this constant push pull all the time.
Mm.
Uh, yep.
Um,
And
I've heard this and your feedback on this. Well, thank you for the insight. You've done a little research.
unfortunately,
Life,
I've had to live it, but yes.
a life of research. Um, I've often heard that the best way to deal with a narcissist is facts. Everything's a fact. You
Mhm,
present the facts to them. You know, they
okay,
might try to bend the truth here and there. Well, really? Well, I got the text here that says this,
sure.
and you sent it.
Mhm,
Or is that just not even going to work? There's just no
okay,
getting through.
yeah. So the brilliant, I'll say it's brilliant because it truly is. They will literally hold the bloody knife in their hand and say that they didn't do it. So, for example, I've done that before where I've shown them, this is your text. It's got your name on it. If I took your name out, this shows your phone number. So it's right there. Your text. You type this. I didn't edit it. I couldn't. Blah 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 blah. They will look at you and say you're absolutely crazy, or that's your perception of it, and that's not what I meant. And or if you assert a boundary, um,
Well,
they
that
will.
debunks that idea.
Yes. Or if you say, you know what, that doesn't work for me. This is a boundary that I have, a boundary that's actually really controlling. So they'll completely flip it and they'll gaslight. Or if you're in a relationship with them, a solid relationship with somebody, and you certainly should know your whereabouts, and they should know your whereabouts, and so on and so forth, and what's going on your phone. Passwords should certainly be visible in a healthy relationship and open to each other, and you should be able to pick up your partner's phone without them questioning you or calling you controlling.
Hmm.
So all of those are would be gaslighting, stonewalling. If you ask where have you been, and they say none of your business, I don't need to tell you. You don't need to be so insecure. That's the stonewalling piece, and yeah, oftentimes you'll hear from the in the narcissistic relationship if you're conveying your emotions to them and how you feel with them, or if something that they did upset you. You're so sensitive. You're so sensitive. Oh my goodness. So there's this constant invalidation of your feelings because they are never wrong, ever. They
Mm.
do not take accountability for their own actions, and they're actually twisting. They do a very good job at twisting words, twisting conversations, twisting situations and perceptions, even to the point that they're so good at it that you actually start to believe what they're telling you.
We're out of time. I have to one final question here on this. Whoa. Um, once a narcissist, always a narcissist,
Yes.
or once a narcissist, once they've done some work, maybe got in touch with themselves,
Mhm.
maybe started figuring out who they really are,
Mhm.
that those traits may very much minimize or no.
Unfortunately, once a narcissist, always a narcissist. And the reason for that is because they don't feel that they're ever wrong. They feel that they're actually a good person. And there are some psychological pieces to the function of their brain. And there's also a term called the blind spot that often they have said something, you refer back to them that they said something, and it's completely not in their memory bank, and they say they've never said that. So they truly believe they are a very good person. There is never anything wrong with them, which is why it's very difficult to diagnose. And a lot of psychiatrists will not take on a narcissist because they will not even step in the door to say there's something wrong with them. If a person says, I think I might be a narcissist, they're not a narcissist.
You know what, Tiffany, I wish you did research for this podcast. I mean, it's really, oh my gosh. Um, I think that
Fascinating
could be
subject.
that could be your niche,
Yeah.
in terms of coaching somebody through a narcissistic situation.
Sure.
This is just a piece of what you offer. How do we find you?
Yeah. So there are two ways on Instagram. So it's at Tiff, Tiff, Aquino, Aquino coaching, or my website, which is tiffanyAquinocoaching.com.
Thank you so much for being here today and all this insight and everything up to this point. So insightful, but I got to tell you, once you came blasting out of the narcissist door, I mean, just in
Yeah.
a short period of time, vital information for many of us.
Yes.
And if there's a chance we continue with this at some point, I think it's impactful because it's big, it's real, more cases diagnosed, and people are dealing with it and don't even know that
Absolutely.
they think it's
Yes.
them.
Absolutely. Yes. We got to get the
Yeah,
word out and help them heal.
for sure. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Hi, it's
Likewise.
We'll be right
Tiffany,
back.
Coach Tiffany. I just wanted to say hello and thank you to all of my subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the like button. It really means a lot, and I appreciate your support. Also, if there's anything that you want me to cover or create in any kind of content, please feel free to go ahead and comment below. Thanks again. Have a great day.